south of the Lawrence area, so we may not be able to proceed. We'll send it back to you. We're gonna let you know if we have any more damage to report.
All right, thank you, meteorologist George Bailey with Storm Tracker with some of the damage. We saw some of the damage in Lawrence. That was definitely a little bit stronger there, and we'll just have to assess where the damage is coming in. But I think Krista, where was that?
There.
Okay, let's go to Linwood, one of the towns that was hit in Linwood, Kansas. Ariel, tell us what you see.
Gary, we are in Linwood, one of the homes that was hit by the tornado, and take a look. There's no more roof here. It was completely gone. From our understanding, this home had burnt down just a couple of years ago, and the homeowner had just rebuilt it, and now look at it. There's water seeping. There is stuff still falling from the ceiling. We're going to be sure we're extremely careful when we're just showing you the extent of the damage. You can see a grandfather clock completely on the ground, but again, parts of the roof completely gone. And miraculously, here and the next door neighbors and the two next door neighbors were not injured. We have seen a lot of firefighters and ambulances go across the street. We're going to head on over there next to make sure the homeowners and the people inside that home were safe. But as you can see, I mean, this tornado was destructive. You can just see the extent of the damage. Again, roof's gone, drywall down. Miraculously, the laptop here stayed in place. So pretty powerful tornado. But again, we're happy to report everyone inside this home is safe and is doing okay. Gary.
Ariel, were there houses around there, or were there an isolated home that had other damage that you saw?
Yeah, no, the home next door, half of the roof, similar to this one, was ripped off. The homeowner told me him and his wife went into the basement. They actually took a foam mattress and put it over themselves to protect it. They said it sounded like the worst train just running through, but everyone moved downstairs, thankfully, because if they were up here, who knows? I mean, the damage is just so awful.
And Ariel, have you seen tornado damage like this before? I mean, what is it like for you right now?
I mean, it's pretty incredible. Of course, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Oak Grove, just a little bit, but I mean, there are campers destroyed, trees destroyed, and we're thinking we're just seeing the beginning of it. My photographer Giovanni and I were driving down into town and a little past it, and this is the first damage we saw, so we don't know the full extent of the damage here in Linwood. These are just the first two homes that we're actually seeing, so it's pretty remarkable, pretty incredible, again, that nobody inside of this home as well as the homes next door were hurt. I think that just takes my breath away when you look at kind of the damage and the extent of that damage.
All right, thank you so much, Ariel. I'll come back to you a little bit later. Krista and Kevin, have you heard any of other reports? No injuries, right?
No injuries so far. We should mention the all clear has been given, though, at KCI, as several of the customers are being brought back from shelter. However, we checked KCI's big board. Several of the flights, no doubt, have been canceled. I'm actually talking right now with the superintendent of Lawrence Public Schools. We had him earlier during our coverage, and he said that they were told to shelter in place. They took lower ground at the Board of Ed. He says, as far as they can tell, there's no damage outside of that area right there. So it's funny how the storm kind of charts its path throughout the city. It can hit one block, and then one block over is just fine.
That's right. And we're looking at radar right now. This is the last 4 hours when the thunderstorms were trying to break through the cap, and a couple of them did, and then one took over. We had one supercell thunderstorm. It's just amazing. It just targets Kansas City, and you can see there are a few other thunderstorms that are a little bit smaller. What was that, Candy? All right, let's go to Jordan and Lawrence, where some of the more significant damage has been. It looks like it. Tell us exactly where in Lawrence you're located, Jordan.
Yeah, we're just right on the edge on Highway 59, and take a look at this backup here on the highway. This is because of that overturned semi I was talking about. We're just probably, I would say, a mile from where those homes were destroyed. A lot of people having to turn around. You can see that state troopers are here, sheriff's department is here. I've seen from other cities come and help. We were going to try to get to that neighborhood that was destroyed, but it's currently being blocked off. We're on East 1300 and North, looks like 1100. it right here. As you can see that sign as police come through here. That's a state trooper. I do want to remind people, because I've seen a lot of this, is a lot of people are coming out to see the damage. And Lawrence police tweeted out that some of these things are passable, some of this damage, but please do not go sightseeing for this tornado damage. It only hampers the effort of emergency workers. As you can see, people coming through here, and it's really causing this backup. So stay home. Just stay with our channel. We'll show you what's going on. We're taking this extra precaution, really what's happening here. But here in Lawrence, we're seeing a lot of down power lines and a lot of snap trees here.
All right, thank you, Jordan. We have a new tornado warning that has just been issued. We have indication of a possible circulation right here. This would definitely be, we have going away from the radar and then towards the radar. So right in here is where the circulation would be, southwest of Kearney. So if you live in Kearney, you should take your tornado precautions right now. Remember, this is the same thunderstorm that has gone through a transition, and it is recycling and trying to redevelop. It's a little bit cooler now, so hopefully it won't intensify as much, but this is definitely right there southwest of Kearney, and so go take your tornado precautions at this moment, as that is definitely coming right towards you. Once again, this is the tornado warning. Let me zoom in and show you who's in the warned area. At this moment, you should go to your lowest level center part, smallest room of your house, and this is for Kearney, just west of Excelsior Springs, and right up I-35 is where you should be taking your precautions, and Mosby too. So Mosby and Kearney go into your safe place at this moment. A tornado warning has been issued for this area until about 8:15, so about a 20-minute warning. Please take this seriously, as this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes. Once again, this is in Clay County for Kearney and Mosby. Kearney and Mosby in the tornado warning. Let's go to Lindsay Anderson. And Lindsay, the activity continues. It's that same cell, just recycled.
Right, it's recycled. It's now in Clay County until 8:15 with this tornado warning. It still looks like we've got some areas of the red and the green pretty close together. So any of the circulation is really close to the I-35 corridor, if not to the west. Right in here where the greens and reds are coming together. So this is north now of the immediate 435 loop, but really close to Kearney, Mosby, as you heard from Gary. Get into your safe place immediately, as this tornado warning is in place for the next 20 minutes. This is just west of Excelsior Springs right now, although you may still hear those tornado sirens going off. The tornado warning does not include Excelsior Springs, but is very close. It's still right along Highway 69 there, and then Highway 92 as well. If you're within this corridor here of all these interstates and highways together, this is where we need you to take your tornado precautions immediately. It looks like it's strengthening a little bit as we're getting some new radar scans where we have some of the reds really close now to the green. This is just west of I-35 and getting awfully close to Kearney, Gary. Do we know how fast the cell is moving?
It's moving at about 40 miles an hour, and yes, it definitely is intensifying at this moment. So just to the south of Kearney, crossing I-35 is the circulation. So if you live in Kearney, Mosby, maybe Lawson eventually as well, this is an intensifying circulation. It's not a tornado confirmed at this moment, but it is a potential tornado. So our radar is showing that it definitely shows the potential to produce one, and it's right on I-35 now. It's going to cross between Mosby and Kearney. So if you live in Mosby, you live in Kearney, kids right now, take this seriously and go into your lowest level center part, smallest room of your house. That basement is where you go, and then you will save your life. Just stay in there. We have not had any reports of injury from earlier thunderstorms, so this is definitely a good sign for this one too. Once again, there's the tornado warning for Clay County. Kearney and Mosby are in the path of this thunderstorm as it continues to track off to the northeast. So there it is. Let me just get that off for a second and show you where this cell is headed. And it is definitely, there's the thunderstorm cell. I just don't want to analyze this. There's other thunderstorms, but that one cell, you can see a little bow echo trying to form too. So it could be a 70-mile-per-hour wind and even quarter-size hail as this crosses I-35 near Kearney. Back to you, Lindsay. What do you see?
Okay, so this is mainly, it looks like it's mainly going to move through the city of Kearney right now. Highway 33, the circulation is really close to you, so I did put a track on it, and there's not a whole lot between Kearney and Excelsior Springs. So Kearney, your timing with this rotation getting to your area will be at 7:58. So between now and about 3 more minutes, you've got to get into that safe place and to the lowest level of your home, the most interior room of your house to stay safe from this storm. It looks like any of that rotation is going to pass on by city of Kearney, right crossing I-35 and getting close to Highway 33 right now. With the velocity or storm velocity radar tool, we like to look and see where the reds and the greens are close by, which indicates different directions of our wind speeds. So when they're close by, that means tight circulation is possible, and that's kind of what we're picking up here on our weather track radar, right along I-35, approaching Kearney here in the next couple of minutes. So this is just for central Clay County until 8:15 this evening with the tornado warning right now. So that's the only warning that's in place at the moment. Let's take a wider view and get kind of a
and if you guys can get Carl Hobie's scene up, get Carl Hobie on our Facebook. It'd be nice to show him. He's right near this area.
So there it is, just west of I-35 currently. And it is on track of reaching Kearney the moment. There's 19th Street, excuse me, and Highway 33, so it is just west of you where we're seeing this area of circulation here on our weather track radar, and looks like it's continuing to the northeast. Okay, we've got a new scan in, and boy, these winds are really strong
intensifying
right now.
fast.
It is intensifying right along Highway 33 again. This is where it really is starting to strengthen right along Highway 33. Look at the bright shades of red. That means these winds are coming really fast into the storm right now. So we do have this circulation. It looks like the latest update now is just south of Kearney.
Keep showing us, Lindsay. But let's go to Carl Hobie, and you can see we do have, I think we have a picture from Carl. He's out 41 Action News Storm Chaser. He is located just to the south of this cell, so you might have a good visual. Let's take a look and see what we have with Carl, 41 Action News Storm Chaser on this cell right now. Can we do that, guys? Do you have it ready? Oh, it's freezing on us? Okay, we got the picture isn't quite coming in very well, but as Lindsay said, this wind has really increased the area that's blowing away from the radar and towards the radar. So what we're looking at here is this is the away from the radar right there. It's really intensified. This is the towards, and then right in here is where the tight circulation would be. This once again, Carl Hobie is to the south of the cell. He's chasing after it, as you can see right there. He's still a ways away. He's about 10 miles away, so he's going to get closer to this. We'll see what we see here. But let me put this into motion. Let's go back a few frames. You can see what's happened. It has definitely been intensifying. It was a little circulation on the north side of that cell I saw earlier. It was broad, and then there it goes. It tightened up right there to the south of Kearney. So it's tracking just south of Kearney. If you're in Kearney, take your tornado precautions right now. Go to the lowest level center part, smallest room of your house, and in the next 15 minutes it'll be passing you. Excelsior Estates and Excelsior Springs, we're monitoring this closely. It is an intensifying possible circulation, but no confirmation of a tornado. It just shows a really strong circulation, but as it intensifies, it could touch down at any time. So take your tornado precaution as we speak right now. As you can see the cell moving off to the northeast. Lindsay, what do you have?
It looks like the National Weather Service has a spotter out there that he reports a funnel cloud spotted from Highway 92 west. So that's pretty close by there, I believe. But let's put a track on this because it's moving to the east now. And I know Excelsior Springs, Crystal Lakes, Excelsior Estates, not in a tornado warning right now, but this will have to be monitored, as you heard from Gary. So this tornado warning could be extended depending on how quickly this or how much this stays together. So let's just put a track on this. Excelsior Springs, the strongest part of the storm, getting to you at 8:09. Remember, the tornado warning goes through 8:15, but 8:09 it could certainly get to Excelsior Springs and Crystal Lakes. They're at 8:12 this evening as that center of rotation tracks to the east. Mosby, it looks like that center of the rotation circulation maybe just to the northwest of you. But we've watched this thing really kind of bounce around a bit before it's reached some tighter circulation just south of Kearney right now. So let's get a closer view of this. This is along Highway 33 right now, Gary. Jesse James Farm Road is right in here. So this is where we're having some really high winds at the moment with the circulation away from the radar and then toward the radar. So this is right along Highway 33. It has crossed I-35 now, moving to the east, crossing Highway 33, tracking just to the south of Kearney, and may actually warrant an extension of this tornado warning if it is holding together. So it is tracking to the east. Remember, Excelsior Springs getting to you closer to 8:10. So that is in about 8 more minutes as this rotation moves off to the east, Gary.
All right, hey, thanks a lot, Lindsay. And let me take you through this again. Tornado warning has just been extended. So the tornado warning now does include Excelsior Springs, Rayville. All right, let's show you exactly what's in the path here. We have Excelsior Springs, Kearney, Lawson, and Wood Heights. Okay, so Clay and Ray County, you are now in a tornado warning until 8:30 p.m. This is a dangerous, intensifying storm. We have had reports of a funnel cloud, and looking at radar and my analyzer, it looks like it's a tornado about to touch down if it's not on the ground already. So those of you, please take this seriously. Again, this is off to just to the northeast of Kansas City. And once again, Excelsior Springs, Kearney, Lawson, Wood Heights, Clay, and Ray County in this tornado warning. All right, here's where it is located. You can see it intensifying. A very tight circulation now has developed. As we look at radar, you can see the very tight circulation here. And we zoom all the way down. It would be located south of 92 Highway near Jesse James Farm Road. That's exactly where it is, on Jesse James Farm Road, east of 33. And this is the circulation right here. It looks like over rural areas, but it is heading to the north of 69 Highway, heading right towards Excelsior Springs. If you live in Excelsior Springs, and I know it's a pretty nice sized community, please take your precautions right now, all right? Wood Heights, Homestead, Excelsior Estates, same thing. We have a developing tornado east of Kearney, and it is intensifying as we speak right there. And you can see how it has intensified in the last few frames. It's just coming together right now. It looks like, to me that looks like it would be a tornado. So we're going to try to confirm that, but you can see that right there. And then there's the cell moving off to the northeast right on I-35, very heavy rain. And then I don't want to say this, but back to the west, we have some big thunderstorms forming in the warmer air. You can see that line. It's way out there. Hopefully those will fall apart, but those are some pretty big thunderstorms to track as well. So also there's a nice healthy cell south near Harrisonville. I want to take a look at that one and see. God, Lindsay, this is intensifying.
It sure is.
This is definitely a tornado. I guarantee it. Northwest of Mosby.
Look at this. I mean, the areas, the velocity here on our radar map is so tightly together. So this is most likely a tornado on the ground. We have not gotten confirmation of that quite yet, but look at how bright the red is away from the radar, the bright green showing the winds towards the radar, and this is right over Jesse James Farm Road right now, south of 92 Highway. New radar scan still shows them very close together, still shows that tight rotation here south of 92 Highway. It is continuing to track across central Clay County. So let's get a wider view of this to kind of give you an idea. Excelsior Springs, right on the edge. Here's Excelsior Springs. You are in a tornado warning right now, so you need to get into the tornado precaution to your tornado safe place right now. That rotation, let's track. Let's see how many miles away it is from you. The center of the rotation, 4 miles away from you right now. So that's kind of where we're watching. South of 92 Highway, north of Mosby is where this circulation is where some tight rotation is shown on our storm velocity map. It is moving west to east.
Yeah.
Right, so from the red and green that you're showing us, because I know the high school's on the north side of Excelsior Springs, where is the point we are watching and what's the track of that? Like you just arrowed toward Excelsior Springs?
Yeah, so
we arrow the track?
Exactly, the arrow of the track. So if we even put a track on this direction, this is how it's heading.
You're right, it's turned due east.
Due east, west to east. So Excelsior Springs here would be on the southern edge of this, Gary, but we have to still watch it. Excelsior Springs 812 now, as the center of the rotation is moving due east currently. Approaching North Jesse James Road, I would say in about 5 minutes, getting to that area, Jesse James Road, along, and the Highway 92 interchange right there. So that's kind of, look at this tight rotation, Gary. That is.
Yeah, that's, do we have Carl Holby's visualization? Do we have that? Okay, we're going to get Carl Holby. He's near that cell. This is near 140th Street, Jesse's at Jesse James Farm Road. The circulation center is now going to cross north of 69 Highway there, but it's heading right into Excelsior Springs. So you're about to go into the circulation. You can see it's a pretty big community here. So if you live in Excelsior Springs, take your tornado precautions right now. The tornado circulation at this moment right here is about 3 miles away. So it's 3 miles away. It'll be there in the next few minutes. So if you live in Excelsior Springs, it looks like it's going to track right over Crystal Lakes. So if you live in Crystal Lakes, take your tornado precautions. Get into your safe place right now. You have just a few minutes. So this is an intensifying potential tornado, and once again, it's located to the west of Crystal Lakes, north of Excelsior Springs, as this thunderstorm moves across that area. And let me put this into motion and see where it's headed. But it's moving pretty quickly. You can see there is might be moving just north of east. So it's definitely heading towards the Crystal Lakes. So Crystal Lakes and Excelsior Springs, get into your safe place right now. So so far we've had no reports of any fatalities or injuries in Kansas City in our area. That's as of this moment. Hopefully that continues to be the case. So if you follow the rules and get into your safe place, then you will save your life, and you might have some damage, but just get in there. And if you're just get into the middle part of your house is what you need to do right now. All right, bathroom or closet in the middle part of your house. So once again, Lindsay, that's pretty strong.
It is. Look at that storm velocity data coming in from our weather track radar. The strong winds moving away and towards the radar site, which shows us where the rotation is. It's very strong. We've got a lot of colors showing up next to each other, moving due east. So Crystal Lakes, as you heard from Gary, approaching you 8:15 now as it moves to the east, about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Wood Heights still have to be on alert. You are in a tornado warning. 8:17 in Rayville through Ray County. This looks a ways away, but you still need to be alert. You still need to be in your safe places. You are in that tornado warning, and the area circulation may get close by to you at 8:25. So let's take off this timeline. Let's